Imagine an early morning in a quiet park in Japan. The sun has just risen, the air is calm, and on a simple wooden bench sits a 90-year-old grandmother. After a few moments of stillness, she stands up smoothly, bends forward, and gently places her palms near her toes. No struggle, no hesitation, just steady, controlled movement. Now compare that to what many people experience in their 60s and 70s in other parts of the world. Putting on socks requires sitting down. Getting up from the floor feels like a full workout. Turning to check a blind spot while driving can feel stiff and uncomfortable. So, what is the difference? Researchers in Japan have been observing older adults who maintain remarkable flexibility and joint comfort well into their 80s and 90s. What they found was not a secret supplement, not an intense fitness program, and not hours spent in a gym. Instead, it was a short nightly routine, simple, consistent movements performed before bed. In one large observation study of adults over 80, a striking number were still able to sit on the floor and stand up without using their hands. That ability alone has been linked to stronger mobility, better balance, and overall functional independence. When scientists looked more closely, they noticed something interesting. These older adults were not training hard during the day. Many of them did not follow structured exercise plans, but almost all of them had a small ritual they repeated every night: 5 gentle movements, about 12 to 15 minutes, done calmly before sleep. Researchers observed improvements in joint fluid circulation, reduced morning stiffness, and better overall flexibility among those who practiced these movements consistently. What stood out most was that the routine seemed to support the body's natural overnight recovery processes. Our joints rely on synovial fluid, the body's built in lubricant, to move smoothly. As we age, production of that fluid naturally slows. This is one reason mornings can feel stiff, but gentle, intentional movement before sleep appears to stimulate circulation and prepare the joints for deeper overnight restoration. Nothing extreme, nothing complicated, just consistent preparation before rest. Before we begin, I'd love to know your age and where you're watching from. Share it in the comments. I read them carefully, and it helps me understand who this community is growing into. Now let's begin with movement number 5. Number 5, the seated forward fold. This movement looks simple, and that is exactly why it works. Sit on the floor with your legs extended straight in front of you. If sitting directly on the floor feels uncomfortable, you can place a folded blanket or cushion underneath your hips. Sit tall first. Imagine the top of your head gently reaching toward the ceiling. Then slowly begin walking your hands forward along your legs. There is no forcing, no bouncing, just slow breathing and patience. Hold the position where you feel a gentle stretch, not discomfort. Then breathe. Why is this so effective? The back of the body, especially the hamstrings and lower back, often becomes tight from years of sitting in chairs. When these areas stiffen, they pull on the pelvis and affect the spine. That tightness can contribute to discomfort and limited mobility. When you hold this stretch for about 2 to 3 minutes while breathing deeply, your connective tissue begins to soften. Your nervous system gradually recognizes the position as safe. That safety signal allows muscles to relax instead of resist. Many older adults who perform this stretch nightly report improved forward reach within weeks. More importantly, they often describe less tension in the lower back when waking up. The timing matters. At night, your body temperature naturally begins to drop. Muscles become more receptive to gentle lengthening. When you stretch calmly before sleep, you are not just stretching muscles, you are preparing your nervous system for rest. Count slow breaths instead of seconds. Around 80 to 100 calm breaths usually equals about 3 minutes. If you can only reach your knees at first, that is perfectly fine. Over time, your hands may move toward your shins, then your ankles. Progress happens quietly when you are consistent. Now let's move to number 4. Number 4, the gentle spinal twist. Lie on your back with both knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Extend your arms out to the sides in a T shape. Slowly let both knees fall to one side while keeping your shoulders relaxed against the ground. Hold for about 90 seconds, then switch sides. It may look like you are doing very little, but inside the spine, subtle changes are happening. Throughout the day, gravity compresses the spine. By evening, many people are slightly shorter than they were in the morning due to disc compression. A gentle twist creates space between vertebrae and encourages fluid redistribution. When done calmly before bed, this movement supports spinal decompression and can help reduce that locked feeling many experience in the morning. Focus on breathing into the side of your rib cage that feels stretched. Imagine the breath expanding that space gently. Some people place a pillow between their knees for comfort. Comfort is important. The goal is not intensity, it is relaxation and restoration. Over time, many people notice they can rotate their upper body more easily. Checking behind while driving, reaching into the back seat, or turning in bed can feel smoother. Stay at least 90 seconds per side. The first 30 seconds often feel neutral. The real relaxation begins after a minute when the body settles. Now we move to number 3. Number 3, the cat-cow flow. Come onto your hands and knees. If your wrists feel sensitive, you may place a folded towel under your palms or come onto your forearms. This position alone reintroduces the body to a natural posture many adults rarely use. As you inhale, gently drop your belly toward the floor and lift your chest and tailbone slightly. As you exhale, round your spine toward the ceiling and draw your belly inward. Move slowly and continuously, like a wave traveling up and down your spine. Do not rush. Do not force. Just flow with your breathing. This movement encourages segmental motion in the spine. Instead of moving as one rigid block, each vertebra begins to participate. Research has suggested that gentle spinal motion supports circulation of cerebrospinal fluid, the fluid that cushions the brain and spinal cord. Good circulation of this fluid is associated with better comfort and clearer mornings. Many older adults who practice this nightly report reduced stiffness and even improved sleep quality. Continue for about 2 full minutes. That usually equals around 25 to 30 slow cycles. If you hear gentle clicking sounds, that can simply be joints adjusting and releasing small pockets of gas. As long as there is no pain, this is generally harmless. Now let's talk about movement number 2. Number 2, ankle and hip circles. This movement is often overlooked, yet it may be one of the most important for maintaining independence. Sit comfortably on your bed or on the floor with one leg extended. Slowly begin drawing circles with your ankle. 10 circles in one direction, then 10 in the other. Move slowly and deliberately, then switch legs. It seems almost too simple. But the ankle is a complex joint. It contains dozens of small bones and connective tissues that work together to stabilize your entire body. When ankle mobility decreases, the knees and hips often compensate. Over time, that compensation can lead to stiffness higher up the chain. Gentle nightly ankle circles encourage joint nourishment and remind the nervous system that full range of motion is safe. After completing the ankles, lie on your back and bend one knee toward your chest. Hold it lightly with your hands. Begin making slow circles with your knee, allowing your hip joint to move through different angles. 5 circles clockwise, 5 counterclockwise. Then switch sides. Walking mainly moves the hips forward and backward. These circles introduce rotation and subtle side to side motion that daily life often neglects. Healthy hips make everyday tasks easier, getting in and out of a car, turning in bed, bending down to reach something, even maintaining steady balance while walking. When these joints receive gentle movement before sleep, they are less likely to stiffen overnight. Start with small circles. Gradually allow them to grow slightly larger as your comfort improves. If you notice soft clicking without discomfort, that can simply be tissues adjusting. Many older adults turn this into a quiet moment of reflection. They breathe slowly, perhaps think about something they are grateful for, and allow the movement to feel calming rather than mechanical. Now we come to the final movement, the one that surprises most people because of its simplicity. Number one, legs elevated against the wall. Lie on your back near a wall and gently place your legs up against it. Your hips should be a few inches away from the wall rather than pressed tightly against it. This creates a comfortable angle. Your legs do not need to be perfectly straight. A slight bend in the knees is completely fine. Stay here for 3 to 5 minutes. That is all. Yet this position supports several important processes. Throughout the day, fluid naturally collects in the lower legs due to gravity. Elevating the legs allows that fluid to return toward the center of the body more efficiently. The lymphatic system, which helps regulate fluid balance, relies heavily on movement and position changes. When you elevate your legs calmly before sleep, you assist this natural circulation. This may reduce that heavy or swollen sensation some people feel in the evening. It may also contribute to more comfortable mornings. Additionally, when lying on your back with legs elevated, the spine experiences gentle unloading. The small discs between vertebrae are no longer compressed by upright posture. This allows subtle rehydration overnight. Breathe slowly while holding this position. Deep breathing encourages gentle movement of fluid within the body and signals the nervous system to relax. Some people place a folded blanket under their hips for a slight tilt. Others rest their arms comfortably at their sides. Find a setup that feels sustainable. If 3 minutes feels long at first, begin with two. Gradually extend the time over a couple of weeks. By the time you finish, your entire routine will have taken around 12 to 15 minutes. That is less time than most television commercials. Yet, done consistently, these 5 movements can support flexibility, balance, and joint comfort in a meaningful way. The most important detail is consistency. The older adults who maintain fluid movement into their 80s and 90s did not begin late in life expecting instant results. They built small habits and repeated them nightly. They do not view this as exercise. They see it as maintenance, like brushing teeth or washing the face before bed. If you begin tonight, you may notice subtle changes within a few weeks. Getting out of bed may feel smoother. Turning your head may feel easier. Reaching down may require less effort. In a few months, the difference can become more noticeable. And in a year, you may look back and realize you move in ways that once felt difficult. Aging does not automatically mean becoming rigid. The body responds to gentle care at any age. Now, I would love to hear from you. What daily movement has become more challenging over the years? Standing up from the floor, reaching behind your back, looking over your shoulder? And which of these 5 movements will you try tonight? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read them carefully, and your experiences often inspire others in this community. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of your body tonight. It quietly supports you every single day.